Nearly 3 million people in Texas are without heat or light in sub-zero temperatures. The power grid has been crippled in America's #1 energy-producing state. NATO debates the future of troops in Afghanistan after nearly 20 years of bitter conflict.
Are the Taliban willing to peace? If not, that they should not. If not, then Taliban should know that the international community will remain.
Facebook blocks users in Australia from sharing or viewing news content in a dispute over planned social media laws. The world's first human trials with people deliberately infected with COVID-19 are given the go-ahead in the UK. And Buckingham Palace says the Duke of Edinburgh is admitted to hospital as a precaution after feeling unwell. Security forces in Myanmar have fired shots after some of the biggest demonstrations since the military seized power at the start of the month. The shooting was heard after dark at Mandalay train station. It's not clear if anyone was targeted or injured. Police have fired tear gas and rubber bullets at protesters in Madrid and Barcelona the day after Pablo Hasel, a rapper, was arrested on charges of glorifying terrorism and insulting royalty in his songs. On Tuesday, police had stormed a university building where Hasel had barricaded himself and arrested him. Russia has rejected a call from the European Court of Human Rights to free the jailed Kremlin critic Alexei Navalny. The Justice Minister said the court in Strasbourg had reached an unlawful decision which amounted to wanton interference in Russia's affairs. Judges at the European Court of Human Rights had called for Mr. Navalny's immediate release because of a risk to his life in prison. The European Union has reached a deal to buy up to 300 million more coronavirus vaccines following criticism over the slow start to its campaign. The European Commission President said that she wanted the contracts with vaccine makers to give the EU access to vaccines adapted to cope with new variants of the virus. She also said that the EU's anti-fraud agency was helping member states spot bogus vaccines on the black market. British scientists have been given the green light to run the world's first COVID-19 trial in which people will be deliberately infected. 90 healthy volunteers will be exposed to the virus to understand its effects. The study will be carried out in a safe and controlled environment, with medics monitoring the health of the participants.
Supporters of Chile's most popular football club, Colo-colo, have been celebrating victory in a playoff that stopped them from being relegated. Hundreds of security forces were deployed after the club's biggest supporters group threatened to kill the players if they failed to save the team from relegation. The Department of Justice in the US has charged 3 North Koreans with conspiring to steal more than $1 billion in a series of cyber attacks. It describes them as the world's leading bank robbers. Officials allege that the men worked for Pyongyang's military intelligence services. Former CIA analyst Sumi Terry told me charging the hackers sends an important message to North Korea.
It's very important to expose North Korean, the cyber capability and what they've been doing. North Korea has become one of the most sophisticated cyber actors out there. It has really become adept at hacking international financial institutions and networks and using it to generate revenue to fund its nuclear weapons program and obtain hard currency. Cybercrime is just one of the extension of their long-time reliance on various illicit activities to fund the regime. I think it's, U.S. government, obviously intelligence community is very concerned that North Korea's cyber attack capabilities will inflict greater damage in the future. And it's important to highlight this.
And as you said, it's been going on for some time. And I know the Justice Department is trying to link these people to the so-called WannaCry attack, which crippled the UK's National Health Service for a while, affected more than 150 countries, I think, and that attack on Sony Entertainment. From North Korea's point of view, does it work? Does it advance their interest? Does it bring them hard currency?
It absolutely brings their hard currency. And more, I think they're really focusing on this because their cybercrime operations does not include just attempt to get $1 billion from financial institutions around the world. They have done multiple cyber attempts against South Korean companies, international companies, U.S. companies, and their cyber activities will continue and will get more increasingly sophisticated. including the state, the use of ransomware to raise funds for the state. And again, I mentioned earlier, there's other criminal activities, beyond cyber too, but they will rely on these illicit activities to make money, basically, because of all the US, UN sanctions. And they have to go around the sanctions to generate funds.